Let us start discussing the transactions and their respective posting to the ledgers. First transaction, 1st April 2020, started business with cash 60,000 rupees. So the journal entry for this will be cash account debited to capital account. So accordingly, we have to post it on the debit side of the cash account as to capital account. Moving on to the next transaction, on 4th April 2020, bank account is opened with Citibank 20,000 rupees. So the journal entry for this transaction is Citibank account debited to cash account. So accordingly, cash account on the credit side we have to mention by bank account, and on the bank account side, debit side, we have to mention as to cash account. So the journal entry was Citibank account debited to cash account. So cash account has to be credited by bank and bank account has to be debited to cash account. Moving on to the next transaction, cash purchases worth 6,000 rupees. So the journal entry for this transaction is purchase account debited to cash account. So cash account has to be credited by purchase. So in this case, we are preparing only cash and bank ledgers. So we have to ignore purchase account here. We need not have to prepare purchase account. So cash account has to be credited by purchase account in this particular transaction. Moving on to the next transaction, on 11th April 2020, carriage expenses paid 250 rupees. So journal entry for this transaction is carriage expenses debited to cash account. And cash account has to be credited by carriage account. So on the credit side of the cash account, we have to mention by carriage. Moving on to the next transaction, on 15th April 2020, cash received from Kripa against sales 5,000 rupees. So the journal entry for this transaction is cash account debited to sales account. So accordingly, while posting on the debit side of the cash account, we have to write to sales account 5,000 rupees. Students, don't get confused that cash received from Kripa against sales, you should not use Kripa account here. We should use sales account and cash account. Kripa account will not appear in this case. So moving on to the next transaction, on 17th April, goods returned by Kripa 1500 rupees. Students, this is a continuation of the previous transaction as to when we had sold goods to Kripa on cash basis, we have to return back the goods for cash only. So the journal entry will be sales return account debited to cash account. Accordingly, while posting, we have to credit cash account and we have to post it on the right hand side of the cash account as by sales return account. Moving on to the next transaction, on 19th April 2020, travelling charges paid 350 rupees. The journal entry is travelling expenses account debited to cash account, and on the credit side of the cash account we have to post by travelling expenses account 350 rupees. Moving on to the next transaction, 23rd April, check received from Kripa towards final settlement and deposited on same day 5,750 rupees. When we receive check from Kripa, bank account will increase and Kripa account will decrease. So bank account debited to Kripa account, we have to post it accordingly to Kripa's account 5,750 on the debit side of the bank account. Moving on to the next transaction, stationery expenses 600 rupees were paid on 27th April 2020. So the journal entry here will be stationery expenses debited to cash account, and accordingly while posting on the credit side of the cash account we have to write by stationery expenses 600 rupees. Moving on to the next transaction, on 28th April 2020, check given to Arjun 10,000 rupees. Basically this check is issued to Arjun, where check payment has to be made on the credit side of the bank account as by Arjun account. So the journal entry for the transaction is Arjun account debited to bank account. So accordingly while posting we have to credit bank account by Arjun account 10,000 rupees. Moving on to the next transaction, rent paid by check 2,000 rupees. The journal entry for this transaction is rent account debited to bank account. So on the credit side of the bank account, we have to post it by rent account 2,000 rupees. Moving on to the next transaction, on 30th April 2020, withdrew cash for personal use 5,000 rupees. So the journal entry here will be drawings account or capital account debited to cash account, and accordingly while posting on the credit side of the cash account, we have to mention by drawings account. Moving on to the last transaction, on 30th April 2020, cash sales 6,000 rupees. So the journal entry will be cash account debited to sales account. Accordingly, while posting on the debit side of the cash account, we have to mention to sales account 6,000 rupees. Students, we have posted all the transactions into the respective ledgers, and the next step is that ledger balancing. As you remember, we have to compare both the totals and write the highest total on the both sides, and at the shortfall we have to write the balancing figure as balance carried down. So let us start balancing the cash account first. When compared the both side totals, the debit side total appears to be more, which is coming as 71,000, and the shortfall, the credit side, we have to mention as 37,300 as balancing figure by mentioning by balance carried on. So this will be the opening balance in the next period as to balance brought down. Moving on to the bank account ledger, when compared the both sides, the debit side total appears to be more. So 25,750 is appearing. So we have to write on the both side totals as 25,750, and we have to put a balancing figure on the credit side as 13,750 on the credit side by balance carried on. So this will be the opening balance in the next period as to balance brought down, we have to mention in the subsequent period. I hope you all understood the problem concept number 3, which is very simple to understand and which is very basics. As compared with concept 1 and 2, this was very basic. So we have explained in detail. And in our next video, we will be discussing on the problem number 4, which is very important and very complex when compared to concept 3. I hope you understood this problem. So if you like the video, please like and share this video, and also we request you to subscribe our channel Lator Academy. Thank you.